Morning, everyone. So we are Group A, and we have been asked to look into 3 questions on the B. Brown case. The first one being the how do I move? Being the question of how the digital transformation changes the business model of MedTech companies from manufacturing companies to service providers based on the case of B. Brown. And this is what we came up with. And I know there's a lot of text on this slide, but I will talk you through it. The trend that can be observed is, in our opinion, not only visible with B. Brown or MedTech companies, but it's a more generic trend across manufacturing companies, where many companies that have historically been manufacturing and selling products are now moving more and more into providing digital service solutions. And one reason thereof, of course, is the ever-increasing international competition with the high involvement innovation. Companies have to join the race, basically the digital race, if they want to remain competitive. And so it's basically the market's evolution that is forcing companies to change. And this is valid, of course, not only for traditional competition, but what we also see is the newly emerging competitors from unexpected corners, for example, in the automotive world, where they see now a new type of competitors are software companies, for example. Now, if we turn specifically to B. Brown, this has translated into a number of things. So what they started to do was improve the clinical processes through digital solutions to provide customers with greater benefits at lower costs, to provide solutions beyond the actual product, and then to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of healthcare delivery and medical practices. And they even set up an innovation lab specifically dedicated to the development of digital solutions. On a final note for this first question, we also observed that there are a number of additional challenges connected to this transformation, such as the strict data protection requirements for the use of sensitive personal data, and also the vulnerability to attacks in the connected machines. While these definitely are very serious threats and challenges, we also feel that these challenges lend themselves to new differentiation potentials with the companies, and also connected appropriation by means of IP. So the digitalization seems to bring a mix of challenges and opportunities. That would it be for question number 1.
And now we move on to the question 2. It's about generic IP strategies apply in transaction-based business model and as a service business model for MRIs, and the patent example to support the strategies. And I will start with the IP strategy for the transaction-based business model for MRIs. So our group agrees that a purchase monopoly is applied to this model. And why do we come with this strategy, and how do we deploy it? Firstly, I will start with the economic effect, where the MRI company, they sell their unique product as MRI devices with premium price. Because the MRI devices, they have the high level of differentiation in the market. And in this case, there are target markets as the main customer group is big healthcare providers with a big budget. Then through the direct selling mechanism, the returns can be appropriated for the company. In fact, the MRI products is sold with only one-time and direct interactions between the hospital and the MRI manufacturer. And to create more returns for the company, they need to create more sales by searching new hospitals to buy their products. And by gaining and maintaining the technology lead, sorry, of MRI technique in healthcare delivery, the MRI company can achieve a significant unique selling proposition that can help them to charge a higher price for customer than their competitors. So with purchase monopoly, the IP function can cover the protection for the entirety of MI devices. So in particular, there are critical features of MI can be protected with patents. That will generate more sales with premium price for the company. While a unique communication position can be achieved with trademarks and design rights. So intense protection of IP function here can create barriers of entry, and then the company can also can from that they sustain the product profitability. So it's here the end of my part, and Gregory will continue explaining the strategy for the second business model, and he also illustrates the example of patents to support our strategies. Thank you.
Gregory, you're on mute.
Sorry, is that okay now? Perfect, thank you. Sorry, yeah, so as I was saying, as they move now on as a service business model, they have to change their strategy. And we were wondering, because we were not sure regarding value added monopoly. I'm going to explain later why. So for value added monopoly, the economic effect is regarding a premium price. So the company is going to provide some specific feature, and customers are willing to pay more for this specific feature. Sorry. As a service, we need to look for services that are willing for the customer. We need to orient our strategy on our development regarding the customer. And we need to have a dedicated protection regarding our technology to avoid competitors coming on our market. We try to find two examples. If we can go on the sharing. Yeah, so we try to find two examples regarding the fortress monopoly and the value added monopoly, so as service. On the left, you have one patent which describes the bottom of the slide, is dedicated to a magnetic resonance imaging system, and it aims to protect the system itself. So regarding fortress monopoly, you want to sell a full product, and such kind of patent works because you are trying to protect the product itself. And on the right, you have a patent who try to protect or will to have a monopoly regarding a method that aims to recommend the best next protocol to perform. So it's kind of a human-machine interface. It would say to the doctor, let's say doctor, what the best next step for him. And it's not regarding the tool itself, it's regarding something that is going to help him. That's the as service. And to come back on my first sentence, where we were not sure regarding as service, another one, we were wondering regarding inbox monopoly, because if you try to provide some new softwares. Sometimes you can put some softwares in any kind of equipment, and it can be an inbox. But in our mind, as we are looking to help our customers directly, and we want to provide some direct things to them, we think as a service is a business one, the best one here. That's it for me.
The next task was to find an additional service that could offer in order to help hospital or doctors. And for this, we have developed a patent. And this is the idea. So the idea is, I try to keep it simple. And the idea is that the data gathered are compared with the other models in order to have the overview of the situation of the patient patient and the risk connected. And this allows this is very useful in order to give an idea of the situation of the patent. And furthermore, based on the data that are obtained, and plus data that are obtained with other methods such as smartphone or wearable, such as other instruments, this can give a complete overview of the situation of the patient, of the past patient. And in order to, the idea is that in order to receive this continuous information and to give a complete view of the situation of the patient, healthcare and health providers should pay royalties. And this is the basic idea.
Good morning, everyone. My part is about value-added monopoly. But before that, I would like to give additional background on the company, because I think the first, I remember that Alex told us yesterday that we need, or the other day, that we need to give more than sufficient background on the company that we are presenting. So I am doing that now. Bibron was actually a very old company. It was established 1839, and it has about 5,000 products. So much, no? And they have about 120,000 line items, and 95% is manufactured in-house. They have about like 64,000 employees, and operating in 64 countries. So they are quite substantial. And for 2018, they have a sales of around 7 billion already. So I think that's very big already. And it's basically owner-operated. The company started way back in the late 19th century. They were just producing plasters and migraine sticks. So the beginning was very humble. And fast forward, they created a scenario where they will have what they call Medicine 4.0, which involves, as my colleagues discuss, an MRI, which is very advanced, because in their scenario, in the presentation of their scenario, they move forward to 2040, year 2040, and they will have a kind of vest that is going to be put in the chest of the patient, and this vest is linked to the watch, of course, a digital watch, and this digital watch is connected to the doctor. So this creates an additional service. This creates a value-added service using their very old, not very old, but their advanced technology with regard to the treatment that they would like to have in the future. Now, why value-added monopoly? Because because for you to be into added monopoly, you need to be knowledge-based, of course, scientific-based research, highly skilled and creative product, which they were able to show in this case. Strong sales teams, of course, because B-Brand has 64,000 employees in 64 countries. So I suppose they have a very strong sales network. And of course, corporate reputation. Apparently, B-Brand has a very strong corporate reputation. So this is the reason why B-Brand being into value-added monopoly is strong because they have the technology differentiation, they have the quality differentiation, they have product differentiation, because they were able to illustrate it in Medicine 4.0. Medicine 4.0 is a model which they would like to have by year 2040. And of course, they have the customer service orientation because that the linkage between the chest going to the smartwatch and link to the doctor is already something very advanced in my thinking. And of course, they have a user experience differentiation, which they were able to illustrate in Medicine 4.0. Of course, value-added monopoly focuses on creation of exclusivity. This particular business model that B-Brand shown in Medicine 4.0 is creating exclusivity actually, and that is which shows a very user-relevant features as perceived by the customer as regards their benefits. So B-Brand focus on relevant features as well. And this, as my colleagues shown, that it must be protected by patents. So basically, that is our justification for the value-added monopoly. Actually, I have already explained the second slide. You can just move forward. I have included that already in my explanation. Can you please go to the next slide? Yeah. So actually, I explained this already. Well, this is just an example. Like the typical strategy user for this is, of course, Nestle. I'm not quite familiar with the Bayersdorf. Sorry about that. But well, Nestle, of course, I'm familiar. This model is typically common in consumer products, yes, and automotive products, and of course for healthcare industry. And with regard to exploitation, of course, we will have to analyze very well the cost benefits and the user benefits. The only problem, of course, is the time trap, because this kind of model, you need to be a first mover player. So that ends my part, ladies and gentlemen.
So we identified patents concerning data processing apps with the ability to make references with or to historical health conditions, operating logic of the app, and integration of external data. We furthermore identified trademarks supporting a service provider for MRI scanning with monitoring health conditions of patients, the brand name and the brand colors. We identified design rights concerning the design of a MRI machine, the layout of the graphical user interface of apps or web pages, and the design of wearables. That's it. Thank you.